Good evening, everyone. You are in the spotlight with Brian Gardner for this Thursday, January the 21st, 2016. To have you all here for our second of three shows this week. I apologize for that. I was never start a show by looking at the settings, the settings of your microphone and stuff while you're trying to start the show. I always screw things up. But anyway, good to have you all here for our second of three shows this week. Is in the Spotlight 4-in-1 show coming at you on this Thursday night. We got a couple of reminders to get to, and obviously we'll be doing some wrestling tonight. So I'll get into all that and more in just a few moments. But first, as always, I want to remind you all the ways which you can interact and contribute to our show. You can do so by emailing us at itspotlight411@gmail.com. You can also follow us and tweet us at itspotlight411. And please remember to use the hashtags, hashtag itspotlight411, hashtag ITS5 represents the 5th anniversary on the air as a podcast, or you can use hashtag ITS Wrestling since this is a wrestling show. You can also find us on Facebook. In the Spotlight 411 on Facebook is what you want to search for. And once you find our fan page, make sure you like it. All right, a couple reminders, a couple deadlines. Now, first of all, for you, again, this is a wrestling show. A lot of you sent in questions or comments that you want us to address during the program prior to the show. You can, for those that did not do that and would like to still participate, you may do so. You can submit questions or comments by email, Facebook, or Twitter throughout the show. We always like to take from what we get before the show. We always like to take from what we get during the show, so we kind of mix it up a little bit. So if you'd like to still participate, you can still do that by email, Facebook, and Twitter during the show. Again, wrestling questions and comments. That's what we're talking about, is wrestling. So please don't throw in something about entertainment tonight. We're not doing that. A couple other reminders. Midnight Eastern time tonight is the deadline for two things. One, the 6th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards ballot request. No more ballot requests will be accepted after midnight Eastern time tonight. So please make sure, if you'd like to participate in the 6th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards, that you get your ballot request sent to me before midnight Eastern time tonight. We will not accept any more ballot requests after that. Again, it's simple. All you do is send an email to us at itspotlight411@gmail.com and just simply ask for a ballot. Remember, you cannot participate in any part of these awards process unless you are involved from the beginning. So don't come in halfway through and say, I want to be involved. You have to start now if you want to be involved. We've already received thousands of ballot requests. This is the first part of this, so please do keep in mind that if you're going to participate, you have to start right now. So again, midnight Eastern time tonight, the deadline for that. Another deadline tonight. If you're somebody that wants to participate in the American Idol All-Time Performance Rankings feature that we are putting together, early submissions are due by midnight Eastern time tonight. You can either send us one performance you want to submit or a number of performances, and you can do that by email, Facebook, and Twitter. Again, midnight Eastern time tonight, the deadline for that. All right, so that's a couple reminders. Mike is obviously in the spotlight and with a very clear visual, which is odd.
I'm using my iPhone.
That explains it.
Because my computer is not loading very quickly.
Okay. Justin may or may not be joining us. He's trying to figure out.
He is looking for the link to Hangouts.
Yeah, I can't send it via Facebook. He's asking me. I can't send it via Facebook because it asked me right through Google Plus. I posted it on Facebook, so you know what? Here, let me. This is the first time he's going to be doing this, folks. So it's kind of like trial by error here. I posted it, and hopefully he'll get that. All right. So we might, for the first time in, gosh, how long? I think it's so the first time since we've been on Google Hangouts, we might have a 3-person panel tonight. How cool will that be?
Crazy.
And I didn't expect that, to be honest, because I'm sure he's been working all week. I did not expect him to even entertain the idea tonight, but he surprised me. What can I say? All right, so we'll see. We might have Justin here tonight, which, again, for all you long time In the Spotlight fans, you'll know that that's usually what we did on wrestling shows. We'd have, Mike and Justin, and we do a 3-person panel. And I kind of hope we do, because otherwise this would be a very quick show, because there ain't a lot of matches on the card. But yeah, so Mike is here. Justin may be here soon. Couple of little other things to get through here. Tomorrow will be our third of 3 shows this week. Tomorrow will be the In the Spotlight Football Blitz, and that will be coming at you at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. We'll be looking back at last weekend's NFL playoff games, divisional playoff games, and looking ahead to championship weekend, making predictions as to who's going to get to the Super Bowl. All that tomorrow on In the Spotlight Football Blitz. So make sure you tune in for that at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Next week will be a pretty normal week, 3 shows. Football Blitz next Friday. Tuesday we'll be back to just our normal sports and a little bit of wrestling on Tuesday. Thursday, entertainment. Nothing big coming up next week. We'll make some announcements as to what's coming up in February next week. You know, some things related to the Film Awards, some things related to the American Idol performance rankings, things we're doing. Also, I want to announce this now. I'm more than likely, I believe, will be preempted on Thursday, February 11th. I don't think we'll be doing a show that day, so keep that one in mind. So just mark that one down. I think it's February 11th. It's either February 11th or the 12th. I think it's February 11th though. So if that changed, I'll let you know. But right now, pencil that in that we will more than likely not have a show on Thursday, February 11th. All right, so that's really all the reminders that I have, and all the announcements I have. So we got through all that relatively quickly. I'm waiting to hear from Justin, but while I'm waiting to hear, let me set the stage.
I sent him the link again.
Okay. Here's what's on tap for tonight. Obviously, an all wrestling show, and again, feel free to participate by email, Facebook, or Twitter if need be. We'll hear, as always, right before WWE pay-per-view, we always preview that pay-per-view. Tonight we'll be previewing WWE's Royal Rumble event, the beginning of the road to WrestleMania. We'll preview all the matches on the card, including the big match, the Royal Rumble match, which this year is for the WWE Championship. We'll talk about all those matches, all the big angles, everything going into them all. And then, of course, the latter part of the show, we'll be addressing questions and comments from the listeners. I should say listeners. I should say fans. I still say listeners. I get very...
Quite literally, it's the same thing, Brian. Relax.
Okay, well, whatever. But anyway, so we'll be doing all that tonight. So not a lot to do tonight. And look, Justin is in the spotlight here. Welcome to Google Hangouts, Justin.
This is a weird and, quite frankly, painful experience.
Is it painful?
Yes. Yes.
Hey, look at the bright side. At least, unlike me, during the first month of the show, when we first started this, most of my mail was about my eyebrows. Just saying.
Yeah, they should be.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, hey, your mail, Mike, your mail was basically, he looks as miserable as he sounds on the phone.
Yeah.
Accurate?
Completely.
Hey.
I'm not saying no.
All right, so... This is Justin's first time on here. I was making that point earlier, so we're kind of used to it, but he's not. So
well, hopefully for everyone out there, hopefully I am what you expected.
There's a cat.
Because why wouldn't it be? She joins me for every show.
Yes. You know, why not? A 3-person and kitty panel makes a lot of sense. It really does.
It's better than nothing.
It helps the production, I have to say. It does. All right, so I've set everything up. I did all the reminders. I'm very efficient tonight, just for the record. I'm very efficient tonight. I shouldn't be because I didn't sleep at all week, but I am. So.
Oh, you haven't slept.
I know. Wait, you know what's funny? I just told Mike this before you got on the air. I said I was really surprised when you said that you were going to actually entertain the idea of doing this tonight, because I figured he's probably been working all week. I did not think. I sent that text just going, yeah, I'll just send it hoping that it works out. What in the world was that?
I think that was his microphone. I think we lost.
That was me. No, we didn't.
Wow, that was super creepy, and I don't want that to ever happen again. Please.
I want that to happen every hour on the hour.
That could happen again if you think about it.
Wow.
We can make that work.
That actually, you know what? We actually should randomly do that like during the awards or something. That would be really trippy. To be honest,
No,
even
no.
though I hate
You
it.
know, if you do that, Brian, if you do that, people are just gonna complain that I'm somehow hacking the show again.
Oh, we wouldn't want that again, would we?
I do.
Why
I didn't.
not?
I personally didn't mind it, but then again, um,
But again, it was our idea.
I hated. I didn't mind you doing it. I hated the reaction I got and all the emails I had to address dealing with it. That's the thing I hated. But anyway, all right. So we got a pay per view to get into here, which I'm sure you all are so excited about.
Wait, it's this weekend?
Yeah,
Oh man,
it's been
where have I been?
dude. It's been like 8 weeks since the last pay per view. It's this weekend.
Okay, to be honest though, I've seen like one episode of Raw in the past month and a half. So
You haven't missed much.
yeah, really.
You really haven't missed much.
I instead of being the John Cena show, it's now the Roman Reigns show, featuring Vince McMahon.
It's terrible.
Literally, the most interesting thing that happened was at the end of Monday's show, and that's only because, I can't get into that on the air, but anyway.
Because Bork Laser happened.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, so there's not a lot of matches on this card, so this is not going to take very long, which is nice.
Well, that's the thing with Royal Rumble. It doesn't have to, there doesn't have to be a lot of matches.
No.
You have like 3 or 4 decent-sized matches, and you have the Rumble. The Rumble itself is going to be an hour.
Yeah.
Plus. There you go.
Yeah, at least 65 to 75 minutes, which is what you'd expect.
Right.
It's the Royal Rumble.
And you also combine the WWE Championship match with the Rumble. So, all right. So here we go. Well, as we always do, we'll go down the matches, and then talk about them and all that, and then at the end we'll do questions and comments, as I mentioned. So, all right. So we'll start off. I think there was a pre-show match announced, which is nothing, but. Oh yeah, it's a fatal 4-way tag match that's been announced. You got Damien Sandow and Darren Young.
Wait, what?
Yes, Damien Sandow and Darren Young.
Wait, has that been a tag team that's showing up exclusively on Superstars and like?
Probably. Okay, it's the Dudley Boys, the Ascension. The Dudley Boys versus the Ascension versus Mark Henry and Jack Swagger versus Darren Young and Damien Sandow. That's your kickoff match. It's a fatal 4-way Royal Rumble qualifier with the winning duo earning guaranteed spots in the Royal Rumble match.
They don't have enough people to fill the Rumble match.
So all of them be in it anyways. I'm guessing probably Mark Henry and Jack Swagger is going to win because. Are you going to have Mark Henry not in the Rumble?
Why not?
Are you going to have the Dudley Boys not in the Rumble? See what I'm saying?
But see, the whole thing with Mark Henry is he always shows up. He's just like the Big Show. He shows up, knocks whole people around, kind of lumbers around there for a while, and then eventually they all team up to throw him out. That's the staple of Mark Henry in the Rumble. Same thing with Big Show and Khali.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that is your kickoff match. So you know what? I'm not even going to throw to you guys. What do you guys think? Who's going to win? Who cares? I mean, really, who cares? But
I honestly didn't even pay attention to who was in the match.
It's going to be Mark Henry and Jack Swagger because no one else, except for like maybe the Dudleys, no one else really makes sense. Are you going to have the Ascension in there? Sandow and D. Young of all like.
I think it's going to be.
I am going to say, I think it's going to be the Dudley Boys too, but I think Mark Henry and Swagger are going to be in the Rumble anyways because they can't find 24 other guys. I mean, let's be. Who else is going to be in the Rumble? Nia Jax, Asuka. I'd pay to see Asuka in the Rumble.
You're going to have all the Wyatts.
Okay, if Asuka's in the Rumble, she's winning.
So that's 4, and Roman Reigns.
You're going to have guys like probably Big Show and Kane. You're going to probably have all the social outcasts in there. Probably the New Day's in there. They announced that. The Usos are going to be in there. You probably have enough. I mean,
big question is, any call-ups for the Rumble?
There'll probably be one. I don't know who yet, but there'll probably be one. I'm pretty sure we'll talk more about it later, but I'm pretty sure a certain new signing will be in the Rumble, or not. I mean, he might debut Monday, but there's always the potential for that.
He might debut Monday.
Debut. I've been saying that all day. Don't ask.
He might debut on Monday.
He'll debut on Monday.
He'll debut on Monday.
He will lose his butt suddenly on Monday.
Anyway.
Tragedy.
All right. So the kickoff match. I'm saying the Dudley Boys. It'll be a fun middle match, but Justin's saying who?
Mark Henry and Jack Swagger.
And Mike?
I'm also going to say the Dudley Boys, with the assumption that Mark Henry and Jack Swagger will just be in the Rumble match later on anyways.
Okay, fair enough. All right, so let's get to the match that are going to be on the main card. We'll start off with
Excuse me.
The tag team championship match between the New Day, who are obviously still the champions, versus the Usos. But I can't believe we're actually getting this match again. But I guess this is because the Lucha Dragons push got kind of derailed. So, all right. So New Day versus the Usos, which I guess I'll start since yeah. Yeah, you're getting this match basically because the Lucha Dragons are out for right now. So I think it'll do its job. It'll fill its time. You'll have your usual New Day versus Uso spots. There's not much you can say about this match because we've had it like 50 times in the last 2 months. But I don't think the Usos are winning the titles. They're not taking them off the New Day, especially not for the Usos. They like the New Day. They're a publicity dream right now. They're one of the best parts about Raw every single week. So, but you know what? I don't think they're gonna. They'll probably want to get at least another month out of this feud because I don't think there's anybody else that they feel is right for this match right now, or right for a push against the New Day right now. So, I'm saying New Day retains probably with their usual shenanigans. It'll be a fun little match, but it's too bad we've seen it like 500 times already. Mike, go ahead.
You're throwing to me on an Usos match? What did I do to you?
Hey, I started it.
Clearly, you started it. Anyways, New Day, because let's face it, they're selling more merch than the Usos. They're more over than the Usos. They're more over as faces than the Usos are. That's just kind of crazy. I feel like the New Day, there's enough mileage left in the New Day to get to at least WrestleMania. So I am going to say that the New Day retain here because the Usos don't have anything. They're not remotely likable at the moment. But they'll be in the Rumble because we need people. We gotta find people. So the Usos are going to lose. The New Day is going to win. And maybe the Luchas will get it at WrestleMania. That'll probably be the Dudley Boys.
Justin?
First, I'd like to ask, Mike, did you suddenly switch to dial-up internet because...
That happens sometimes. I worry about that, but a lot of times I watch the show after the show and it doesn't even come through like that. I don't know why it does that, but...
Okay, yeah. So in case if it doesn't come through to other people, or if you're watching this later on and wondering what I'm talking about, you just got dial up slow. Basically, that's how you can describe it.
That is Google Plus for you.
It's true.
Well, it's the beta version.
In the live stream, it's pretty terrible because occasionally I'll get a giant picture of Brian, then goes to black, then I'll get a giant picture of you. Then it goes to black. So it's just what we deal with.
Yeah, it's par for the course.
So yes, Justin, Luchas. No, excuse me. Usos. Usos and the New Day. Unicorns.
Yes, I don't see the New Day losing anytime soon because they're selling merch like there's no tomorrow. They're doing all the publicity stuff, and they were just on ESPN, Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Was it? So
Yeah.
they're all over the place, and they're the hottest thing going right now. And surprisingly enough, they've been like that for better half of a year, basically.
Hmm.
So I don't see it happening yet. I mean, they're trying to. I'm not sure if they're just trying to push the Usos. Like, yes, it's Roman Reigns. It's the Usos. Yes, all the Samoans. I mean, basically,
All the Samoans. Ah.
but it's like that's the only thing I can think of. It's like, okay, is Vince on his Samoan kick again?
Hmm.
Yes, Roman Reigns.
Maybe it's Vince's way of making up to like the Inoue family last year after Roman didn't win at WrestleMania and they all got mad.
Mm.
So he's just having all of the Samoans win now. So that means Nia Jax is going to win the
But
next
not-
title, and
But not Joe because he's not related.
no. Here's the thing: he hasn't told Vince yet he's not related, so Vince still thinks he's a part of the Inoue family.
You know what? That's not entirely wrong. Okay,
If he
sorry.
wants that
Sorry,
push,
I'm
he'll just keep
losing.
pretending he's Rock's cousin because Rock has enough of them. You know, he loses track of who's who.
I can imagine The Rock. Yeah, you look like my cousin. Yeah.
Hey, oh, whatever. I think Rock would be cool enough to lie to Vince saying he's his cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's a badass, so might as well.
But as I was saying, I think it's gonna be the New Day winning because I don't see anyone taking it off of them anytime soon.
Mm.
They're too hot. I mean, they're like Mike said, they're the best thing on Raw.
Yeah.
I mean, terrible thing on Raw.
I really would.
Yeah.
I really would have liked to have seen more, a more complete memorial to Francesca. Did you see that? That was freaking hilarious.
No.
Oh my god, that was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fantastic. It was better than anything else they offered up. I'll just say that.
That's not saying much.
No, it's not, but I liked it. All right, so we're all pretty much going with New Day. And I don't really know who the heck's going to take it off him at this point, because I think the plan was for the Lucha Dragons to do it, and that ain't happening. So probably somebody that they call up, maybe Enzo and Cass or something. I don't know.
That'd be very smart. But it'll probably be the Dudleys.
Probably.
If Enzo and Cass win it, they gotta win it in like Brooklyn. They gotta win it in New York.
Yeah,
In a very smart centric place.
yeah. We'll see. I think Mike's right. It could be the Dudley Boys, and they get a WrestleMania moment, but we'll see. All right.
Here's my thing. If you bring up, just do like a week bring up, call up for the Enzo, and they don't win it in Brooklyn, then
Yeah.
that's just gonna end up being SAWFT.
Yeah.
Soft.
Thank you. I was trying to cue you up for it, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right. So we're all going with New Day.
Yep.
Next match is U.S. title, what they're calling U.S. title rubber match between the champion Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto, who was a member of the aforementioned Lucha Dragons. So Alberto Del Rio and Kalisto. Mike, go.
Okay, well, this one can go either way, to be quite honest with you. If I were a betting man, and I'm not, but I would assume that they kind of stay the course on Del Rio, and they kind of give him they probably wouldn't give him a solid victory, but they'll probably give him something. The problem is, like, Kalisto was kind of hot at the time. Kalisto, like, his merch sales went up. People bought into him.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if Del Rio I don't know what convinced them. Maybe Del Rio had a fit, maybe not, and they have to cater to Alberto's every move at this point because, well, they kind of fucked him over.
Mm.
Wait, we can swear now?
Yeah, you can swear.
Yeah, it's 18 plus. We can swear all we want.
Yep, go ahead.
We can finally be adult about this. Good Lord. But
Huh. Neat.
Yeah.
but if I had to guess, yeah. If I had to guess, I say Kalisto. They're probably going to build that up to WrestleMania.
More than likely.
I think Kalisto will probably get his big moment there, God willing. But he'll probably get knocked off the perch here. So I'm going to take Del Rio to retain. Maybe there's interference again. I'd like to hope that there's interference again. So I'm going to say Del Rio.
Justin?
I think the big question for this is, how is Sin Cara's health?
That's a good point.
Because if Sin Cara is still going to be out for another 3 months, then they're not winning at WrestleMania.
True.
If Sin Cara can be back in the next month or so, then they're probably going to have to match at WrestleMania for the tag titles and win there. So that's how. So if Sin Cara's still going to be out for a while, then Kalisto's going to be going to win at the Sunday. If Sin Cara's going to be back relatively soon, then Alberto will retain. So the big factor is just how is Sin Cara?
Who would have thought that the big question for a United States title match, the factor is, how is Sin Cara? Is he okay? Isn't this crazy?
It's
Isn't this like crazy ironic?
Isn't a sad kind of way? Like, that kind of sucks.
Okay, yeah. Excuse me.
It's I think that's actually a good point. I haven't seen anything on Sin Cara for 2 weeks. I heard that I heard it was going to be at least. I thought it was going to be at least 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. I thought that's what I read, but
Well, 6 to 8 weeks at that time when it happened, so that'd be what?
it looked like middle of February. Yeah,
So
So hey, it could happen.
it could if that's going to be their, But I mean, I heard one of the reasons why they even involved Kalisto with Del Rio is because Cena got hurt, and they were going to do Cena and Del Rio, and I don't know if Cena was supposed to win back the title somehow or what. I doubt it, but because he's supposed to be facing the Undertaker anyway. But I mean, that's kind of why they got the idea between that and Sin Cara being injured. That's kind of where they got the idea for the push.
no, see, here's the thing you're missing. Yes, Cena was supposed to face Undertaker. It's actually supposed to be for the U.S. title, because that's one of the few titles Undertaker has not won.
Oh, really?
No, I'm just making it up as I go.
No. Okay.
The Undertaker is so far above any mid-card title.
Yeah.
Although he is only one mid-card title away from the Grand Slam Championship. All he needs to do is win the Intercontinental Championship, and he would be like the 15th guy to win it, 15th or 16th guy.
Oh, wait, he's won the European title?
No, he's won the Hardcore title.
Oh, yeah. I forget that they count the Hardcore.
He would be a Grand Slam.
Yeah, I forget that they count
He would actually
Hardcore towards it. So.
As a third tier, yeah. Actually, Undertaker would then be a Grand Slam champion. If he wrestles and beats the Intercontinental Champion for the Intercontinental Championship, he would be a Triple Crown and a Grand Slam Championship.
Make it happen.
He's one of the few guys who has the ability to do it, too. These other guys would also include Goldust, William Regal, and R-Truth.
Huh.
Well,
Wow.
would they count R-Truth since he won it SK Quick?
Yes, they do.
Okay. I didn't know how the continuity lies with WWE when you come back under a different gimmick.
No, they'd count it as K-Quick.
Okay.
But I don't know if it's going to... Look, at this point, if R-Truth is going to win the World Championship, he probably would have already won it by now. Let's just call that how it is.
Yeah, that's true. He would have won it when he was a heel.
So here's the thing, like, how old is R-Truth, and does he actually age? Because I saw a picture of him with, like, Eazy-E, and he died in, like, the mid-90s.
R-Truth is. Actually, we can look that up because
And
he just
Truth-
celebrated a birthday too.
And Truth looked the same age as he does now.
The dude, he's one of those guys that just doesn't age. Let's see, Ron Killings. R-Truth is. Let's see, pulling it up. 44.
Wow.
Yeah, 'cause here's a picture.
R-Truth.
I'm looking at a picture of him with Eazy-E, and Truth looks the same. He's just got like the flat top, hair, kind of up and then just
Yeah.
with like a little bit of the fade here and here.
hmm
I'm like, wow.
He found the fountain of youth,
The-
man.
And
R-Truth
he's
is
with
one of those
Eazy-E
guys that just.
and Tupac.
Wow.
I'm
like-
looking this picture up right now.
It's crazy. I mean, you know what's
It's
funny?
R-Truth and Tupac.
Yeah,
It's
type in R-Truth Eazy-E. Yeah.
It really is crazy because he was on. I think he was on. Was he on Raw Monday or I forgot. It was either last week or this past week. And now that you think about it, you look at him now compared to when I first started watching wrestling, which was what, like maybe 2006 or so. He looks exactly the same.
That man does not age.
No,
He looks a little older now, just slightly older.
but not like you would think.
No. It's actually pretty insane.
Yeah, and I mean
Yeah.
he doesn't work a high work. No.
And believe it or not, R-Truth, I guess, would be the connection to the great rap wars of 1994. As he has connections to Tupac Shakur and Eazy-E, but Eazy-A actually passed away before that.
Right.
Eazy-A actually passed away long before
It's
Biggie and Pac had their war of words.
wow.
We missed you. We
Yeah,
missed
so
Pac. Anyways, R-Truth, 44 years old.
it's amazing. He doesn't look he really looks like he's still at least in his early 30s at least. So, all right. So Justin,
Yeah.
you're pretty much saying that you think it depends on whether Sin Cara will be ready to go or not.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you're gonna go with Del Rio, maybe, possibly, could be.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. First of all, I think it's going to be a fun match because these two have, I mean, obviously they can work the lucha style, so it's a fun match. And this is one of the matches I hope they give a little bit of time to, just because it could be fun. I honestly don't know which way they're going to go here because I think there's two theories running here. The Sin Cara point's an excellent point, and maybe that's and if that's in play, then obviously Del Rio's probably going to win. Assuming Sin Cara will be back soon. On the other hand, it's clear to me that they really did want to push Kalisto, and they still probably do want to push it. There's probably, in my opinion, other reasons as to why they hot-shotted the title right back to Del Rio.
Because it was his destiny.
And you know what? In a way, it hasn't really hurt Kalisto. It hasn't really hurt Kalisto that much. The fans are, but I think they have to devote more time to developing this a little bit. Like if you want this to be, continue building Kalisto up and have him be continuously screwed over and stuff, then fine, devote time to it. Have the League of Nations keep helping Del Rio. Have Del Rio keep getting away with being a total jerk or asshole to him. You know what I mean? Build it up, and then give Kalisto a big moment. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But they're not like they did that the first couple when they first hot-shotted the title to him and then hot-shotted it back. They did it and then they dropped it. Now it's just kind of like, oh, we're giving you another match. All right, that's it. They stopped caring about it. If you want it to be something, care about it, develop it, and then we'll see where it goes. For what it's worth, I think the match will be fun. It depends on what they're going to do. If they really are behind Kalisto, I can see them winning here. My take is that Del Rio probably wins here. Whether the program is going to continue or not, just because I got a feeling that they're not going to want to hotshot it right back. But we'll see. All right, next up on the card is the Divas Championship match between the champion Charlotte, who will more than likely be accompanied by Ric Flair, and
Wait. What's her name?
Charlotte.
I thought you said Char,
No, Charlotte. Charlotte.
which is the name of a famous anime character from Mobile Suit Gundam all the way back in the 70s.
Oh, wow.
Of course.
Yeah. All right, so WWE Divas
Yes.
Champion Charlotte, who will more than likely be accompanied by Ric Flair, versus former PCB team member and best friend, Becky Lynch. Justin, have fun.
I think they really want to do Becky's moment at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, depending on Sasha's injury. So that's another thing we kind of have to look out for. So I can see maybe Becky winning it here, and then come WrestleMania, you have maybe a triple threat or whatever with Sasha, and that's how she wins it. Maybe Charlotte or Paige, whoever eats the pin or taps out, and that way you kind of protect Becky.
Right.
So I'm actually kind of split on this because I want to say Becky because I know if I don't, Mike's going to get super mad.
Yeah.
You can say whatever you want.
But the wrong part goes, it's Charlotte, it's Ric Flair. They're going to cheat because that's how he retained every time.
Yeah.
Almost every time.
He cheated to retain a lot more than he won clean.
It's very true.
I'm actually very torn on this.
Mm.
I am going to say Charlotte. It's literally 50-50. I don't know.
It really depends on where they're going with this program right now. I mean, like you said, Sasha Banks has kind of like been looming over this for the last couple months, and here's my thing. There's a lot of rumors out there. There's rumors that the match at WrestleMania might be something like Sasha Banks with Mick Foley in her, not Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch with Mick Foley in her corner to kind of negate Ric Flair in Charlotte's corner. They might do something like that where Becky Lynch has her big moment, Mick Foley's there and everything, or they might have it where it's a triple threat with all three members of PCB. And that, you know what I mean? I could see it being one or the other. I don't think Sasha Banks is going to be in the title match anymore because I think I heard best case scenario was early March on her. And I don't think they're going to. I mean, even if they did bring her back, I got a feeling that because I think they're going to do like a Divas Battle Royal anyway or something like that. They'll probably have Sasha just come back and win that. Because I don't think they're going to have no time to build her up. They were just like you could tell they were building her up for it, and then she got hurt. So I'm pretty sure now, judging by the way they're booking this Becky Lynch thing, that Becky Lynch is going to be the one that gets the moment this year. So, plus I think her merch sales are improving, so I think that's something they're going to go with. And the last couple of weeks, they've been kind of having Becky get the upper hand a little bit more. So I think Charlotte wins with Rick's help on Sunday. It'll be a fun match and good storytelling and all, but I think that's what happens, and then they'll have another match at Fastlane, and they'll probably have her get screwed again. That's when she says, you know what, enough's enough, and then you might bring somebody like Foley in, or maybe they do the triple threat. We'll see what happens. But I think I'm going to say Charlotte retains on Sunday. Mike?
I think they're actually going to pull the trigger on Becky Lynch here.
Okay.
Because I heard the same kind of thing on Sasha. Because until that point, until Sasha got injured, excuse me, I believe it was straight up whoever takes the title here was going to carry it to WrestleMania and do the big JOB for the boss. That's it.
Right.
That's probably what was going to happen. Now I think we're going to get the Team PCB explodes. I think there's probably more money in a Team PCB kind of exploding deal, because you could throw Paige in there, who's always a draw amongst the divas, and it's like, oh well, Paige and Charlotte and are going to chase after Becky, and I don't know, Paige could maybe even have Natty there. I think they made up on television. I wouldn't be surprised to make Foley's at the Royal Rumble on Sunday. I feel like Becky's going to win here. They're going to build her up. She's probably going to go over Charlotte and Paige and get the big WrestleMania moment. And at the first possible opportunity, she is going to drop the title straight to Sasha Banks. Beckman is for merch sales. Becky's merch sales have always been pretty good, especially when she went total steampunk, introduced the goggles, and the last kicker shirts. Those have been pretty popular. I mean, the goggles were the one of the top-selling items at most NXT shows outside of the, especially for Divas, outside of the Bailey wristband sold like motherfuckers. He is going to here. She's going to carry it. They're going to kind of not have a payoff to the Charlotte thing. They're going to get Paige involved again, and boom, where WrestleMania PCB explodes.
I think it's already pretty much exploded. I mean, it's pretty much splintered.
Well, I'm saying they're going to have an official triple threat match.
Right.
Yeah.
Which was and you know what's interesting about that? We were discussing this back last month before TLC. I think I mentioned or we talked about that. This might be where they're headed as a way to kind of end the PCB angle, moving on. At that point, we thought end the PCB angle, move on to Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
But now that Sasha, I really don't think Sasha's going to be in that match. I think she'll be on the card. They'll probably do like a multiple divas match and have her win that. But I don't think she'll be in the title match anymore. I do think it's going to be a Becky Lynch's moment. So, all right. So Mike's going with Becky Lynch. Me and Justin are going with Charlotte. All right. So the final match before you get to the main event. And it's normally I would have put the Divas match in this spot because normally the between the Divas is bigger than the mid-card titles, which they should. But because this is the gravity, because of the kind of match this is, and how well built actually this feud has been, even though I don't think it's necessary to have this feud, but a lot of people have been liking it. It's been very popular, and it's because of the two people involved. Intercontinental Champion Dean Ambrose versus Kevin Owens in a last man standing match. So, all right. I since this is my show, I reserve the right to change the order of things. So I will throw this to Mike because his guy's in the match, and I think he'll be upset if I don't do that. So Mike, you can start it off.
I know where you live.
Yeah, I know. I really do know better.
See, I wish Kevin Owens was out of this feud already. Yeah, they've been going great. Yeah, it's been interesting. But I really wish Kevin Owens was out of this feud already. You had that opportunity where you moved him away with Dolph took the pin. They could have had Kevin Owens wrestle anybody in the interim. Because the truth is, and I feel like he's not going to win the Intercontinental Championship back here. And the fact that it's a last man standing match is kind of not good. I mean, it's kind of what you built up. And if you watch SmackDown tonight, you're going to see that Dean gets the upper hand, suggesting, based on WWE booking, that Owens wins at the Rumble. But I feel like what we're going to get is that nonsense last man standing finish, which is how I think, because I think they have bigger plans for Owens at the moment than to have him continuously go after the U.S. Championship. Excuse me, the Intercontinental Championship. My bad. I'm not as tired as some of you guys, but I'm still tired.
Yeah.
Clearly, I'm not as tired as one of us.
Mm.
But I think what's going to happen is Dean Ambrose is kind of in his wacky Dean Ambrose kind of phase. So what I think that means is Owens' ankles are going to get tied. He's not going to be able to reach the count of 10, even though he's clearly conscious and like struggling and like what the hell, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I think this match is going to go. So I'm going to say Dean Ambrose will win this match by being the last man standing, by having Kevin Owens being unable to stand up because for some reason his legs are tied around something like Batista and the Big Show. That's what they're going to do with it.
Right.
I think it's bullshit, but hey, it's probably what we're going to get.
Justin?
I'd like to think that if Owens does lose, it would make it so he stays strong, because isn't Owens kind of right now in the running for the Undertaker match? Since John Cena's out?
He's in the running for a lot of things. Whether it happens or not is a completely different story. Well, you and me will talk about that off the air. But yeah. So, but yeah, he is one of the people on the table. He is on the table.
Owens is on the table for every top match at WrestleMania you could think of.
Pretty much.
So that's gotta say something like, okay, yeah, maybe this guy has some lasting power here. As if his debut match against John Cena and winning cleanly isn't a already deciding factor for that. For this match though, I think it'll be Ambrose. I don't think we're gonna go the same route as duct tape. Really?
Yeah.
Duct tape.
Really? Really?
But there'll be something. Yeah. There'll be some way to do it. I'm wondering is, what if Owens wins, takes out Dean Ambrose, so Dean can't be in the Rumble to help out his buddy Reigns? Because, because wasn't it, they did the thing where John Cena lost by getting thrown through a spotlight.
Yeah.
Which, ironically enough, didn't. It was Edge who did that, correct?
Big Show.
Big Show did that, okay. For some reason, I thought it was Batista. I'm like, wait, no.
It was a match with Edge, though.
Okay, so someone there. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's gonna be Ambrose, though. Just my gut feeling.
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
See, I have a lot of theories as to why this feud is even still going and why we're even getting this match, because they pretty much ended this feud before Christmas.
It started back up because everyone's favorite John Cena got injured.
Well, I think there are other reasons, but it kind of came out of nowhere, and they kind of just were like, okay, all of a sudden Kevin Owens starts caring about the Intercontinental Championship again, which is weird. But all right, it's going to be a good match. It's going to be incredibly intense, and you know what? Whether Dean Ambrose wins this match or not, I think they can use this match as a way to explain why if he's not in the Rumble, this is why he's not in the Rumble, because he had to get through a last man standing match. If you want to use that logic, you can use that logic. I think Kevin Owens is going to be in the Rumble more than likely, unless there's some other reason for it. But yeah, I expect a good match. It's going to be probably a lot. They're probably going to give it a lot of time, as they should. I think Ambrose is winning. I do think you're going to get something along the lines of what Mike said, because I think WWE is good. The one thing you can say about this is about what they've done with Kevin Owens is even these last couple months where he kind of was like directionless despite the Intercontinental title, they always kind of made sure that he didn't get buried or booked poorly. Even after the Cena program, it was always like, well, remember, he beat John Cena clean his first night, and then he's always, if he lost clean or whatever, it was like they always consider it like a fluke. They treat it like a fluke. They've always made sure to protect him. I think they'll protect him again here, especially if they have different big ideas for him. You're probably going to get some kind of duct tape really kind of thing, but it is what it is. And it isn't Dean Ambrose's character. He's done strange crap since he got his singles push. So it'll be a good match, but I think Ambrose is retaining, and I think Ambrose is going to get a match for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. So I think Ambrose is going to retain here.
Stoop so low! Duct tape!
Hey, at least it gave us that awesome Batista promo. Let's just give it that.
Batista rocked that.
He
That was
did.
a great promo.
That was a classic moment for sure. All right, now let's get to the main event, which is your Royal Rumble and your WWE World Heavyweight Championship match, all rolled up into one. One versus all. Champion Roman Reigns versus 29 other superstars, among them Big Show, Chris Jericho, The New Day, The Usos, Brock Lesnar, a band of many, 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 many. There's a lot to mine here. You know, when you start looking at the Royal Rumble, you think about who's going to main event WrestleMania. Well, more than likely, whoever wins this match is going to main event WrestleMania. They're not going to just drop the title at Fastlane, even though, again, they're going to treat Fastlane like an A pay-per-view, and they're going to have big things going on. This year, the one thing I think we can expect, unlike last year, is they're going to actually build up some of the other big stuff going into WrestleMania in this match. I think they're going to build more storylines in this match. I think you're going to see that. I think it's going to be a little more methodical this year. Last year was just Operation put over Roman Reigns. I think now that's going to be going on too in this match, but I think there's other things that they care about. They have to essentially start a lot of feuds in this match because they have really no card for Mania set up yet. So there's a lot of things to look at here. What seems like the inevitable Triple H is going to screw Roman Reigns, because that's obvious at this point. That's in play. Does Kevin Owens do something big and get himself into the picture? That's in play. Would they even bother doing something with The Undertaker in this match? Brock Lesnar's in this match. Bray Wyatt, and what I thought was one of the most interesting things that's happened in the last couple months in WWE, Bray Wyatt and the Wyatt family attacked Brock Lesnar. And now all of a sudden they're in the mix with
And survived.
And get this, apparently if you look at the odds right now, in some level, Bray Wyatt's the favorite right now. So
Is Bray Wyatt the non-Brock favorite, or is he the favorite?
he's the non-Triple H favorite, because some people are still clinging to the whole Triple H is going to come back and win the Rumble thing, because they feel like they need a big a legend to be carrying the title. Which again,
Sure.
and everything,
Can the Undertaker come back then?
and everything that I've heard, I haven't heard Triple H once mentioned as being champion. So I'm just telling you that right now. I've only heard that from like I like to call them clickbait dirt sheets that keep clinging to that. Let me say you got Bray Wyatt involved in the Wyatt family, which has now become a story. Brock Lesnar, Undertaker. Then there's the rumors. You got the New Japan Pro Wrestling guys that we know that are coming into the company. One of them, AJ Styles, who many think will debut on Sunday, whether he debuts on Sunday or Monday. I think a lot of people think it's more likely he comes in on Monday. But if he shows up, some people think he could win. So lots of things here to look at. Daniel Bryan apparently got cleared by another doctor, not WWE's Dr. Joseph Maroon, but another doctor at UCLA cleared him. And there was some talk about him going to Pittsburgh to see Dr. Maroon. Apparently that's not going to happen. But there's always the chance of Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, we all know. There's a lot of things out there, a lot of things to look at. Let me just give my piece quickly here. I think we all know who the final 4 or 5 is going to be. Roman Reigns is going to be there. Bray Wyatt's probably going to be there. I'd like to think Owens, if he's in the Rumble, will be there. Brock will be there. And then you'll probably see one other random person there. I'm trying to think of who else it would be. Who else they'd pushed for that spot. You got Brock, you got Roman, you got Owens, you got I don't know who else. Throw somebody else out there as another member. I don't know. Maybe they give AJ Styles the rub because he just got in there. If he's in there, assuming he's in there. So yeah, that's what you'd see. And then at some point, Triple H has this big moment and he screws over Roman Reigns. And then you have maybe Brock and Owens and Wyatt in there. And if Owens is a big part of your program, you have Owens win it, or you can have Brock Lesnar win it and be challenged by Owens or Wyatt, or Bray Wyatt wins it and gets challenged by Brock Lesnar. I think that's what you're pretty much looking at. If I had to say right now, I think Bray Wyatt's winning. I honestly think Bray Wyatt's going to win on Sunday. And I think Brock Lesnar is going to go up against him at WrestleMania. And which would be interesting because if you look at it this way, at least it's something fresh. We'll see. I don't think AJ Styles debuts on Sunday. I think he'll show up on Monday. I know WWE, apparently a lot of things I've read, they're worried about a lot of the casual fans not knowing him, so they don't know if the Rumble is a good way to debut him. They'd rather have him come in on Monday and and give you some and have it be against somebody there. But then again, he could show up there too. I don't know. We got Chris Jericho in the mix as well. I don't know what they're going to do there, but I imagine they'd start a program for him in the Rumble. So there's a lot of different things. The Reigns moment's going to be huge because it's going to set up the Triple H match. Whatever goes on with Brock, Bray, if Owens is in there, that's going to be the huge wins pins of this whole thing. Kofi Kingston's going to have a big spot. Always does. There'll probably be a couple surprise returns, legend returns, that kind of thing. We always get those. I haven't heard any rumors. The only big thing that people have been clinging to is AJ Styles. Maybe they swerve us and have a couple other the New Japan guys show up. I don't know. Then there's always, again, I guess the biggest swerve would be at some they pull off a Daniel Bryan moment or something, or an Undertaker moment. But I don't really anticipate either one of those. I'm going with Bray Wyatt for the win here. That's what I'm going with. Mike?
Oh, I did see the finale on Monday, and Bray Wyatt being heavily involved to the extent he was, and apparently if you read the spoilers and watch SmackDown tonight, Bray Wyatt's still heavily involved. The fact that he is this heavily involved, I can't talk tonight.
It's okay.
Suggests that he is probably one of the strong frontrunners. That being said, if Owens is in the Rumble, I think he is going to be a strong contender to win. I think Jericho is going to be a tease. I think Reigns is just, in general, a tease, although you can't rule him out.
No.
There is always that chance that Roman Reigns is going to overcome the odds. And I'm going to tell you right now, if Roman Reigns wins the Rumble, overcomes the odds, they have totally ruined him as a face. And the only way to save that guy is to fully commit to him as a heel.
Yeah.
That being said, Reigns is an option. Wyatt's an option. Owens is an option. Brock Lesnar's going to win the Rumble. Because regardless, Brock Lesnar is not a face who goes into WrestleMania chasing the title anymore. Brock Lesnar is the unbeatable, unconquerable motherfucking monster who has to be conquered.
Right.
Roman couldn't do it last year. Rollins technically didn't do it last year. Rollins had to turn that into a triple threat match and then pinned Reigns.
Right.
Who he knew he could beat. In the end, they're still presenting Brock Lesnar as a guy who can't be beaten by normal means. They presented The Undertaker, the legendary Undertaker, one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. They essentially painted it like he had to cheat to beat Brock Lesnar. He had to use dirty, underhanded tactics to beat Brock Lesnar. So, if you put him in this type of environment, look, I thought the Bray Wyatt thing was cool. I really do. But I think it's going to be, if Brock's in the Rumble, he's winning. If Brock wasn't in the Rumble, then I think it'd be more interesting. Then I think it'd be more unpredictable. Because Reigns probably isn't going to win if Brock isn't in the Rumble. Still, he probably isn't going to win. So I'm going to take Brock Lesnar because he's Brock Lesnar and conquering everybody. That's his thing. That's his shtick. That's his gimmick. And he's really kind of good at that, If you didn't know that, he's
Yeah.
pretty good at beating the shit out of everybody. So, I'm picking Brock Lesnar.
Justin?
You should be picking Roman Reigns. I mean, he's going to overcome the odds. I am Wizard 1. He's going to win it all. Because last year was a fluke. They're going to cheer for him this year. God damn it. He's feuding with me, damn it. He's gonna win. It was me, Roman. It was me the whole time.
Oh my god.
Actually, you know what? I think Vince McMahon entering and winning the Royal Rumble would be a better option than Roman Reigns. So
Yeah, sadly.
Now that you said that, I have this vision in my head where when Seth Rollins betrays the Shield, it's like the higher power thing. He rips off the mask. It's really Vince McMahon betraying the Shield. So he can actually say, "It was me, Roman. It was me all along." Since when did Vince McMahon become a member of the Shield? I don't know.
we'll find out as well rolls on.
But by God, Michael, I love it. But we're at 3 hours already. I don't think we got the overrun. Be sure to tune into Legends with JBL.
Oh boy!
Which I heard was really good. I heard that was really good.
Yeah,
Oh man, we're just shitting on everything they do now. That's great.
it makes it fun.
We're like Smarks.
Yeah, what the hell happened? Okay, Justin.
Well, you say douchebag and Smarks, like douchebag Smarks, like you can just get rid of that. That's redundant. Just Smark, because we're naturally douchebags. Remember that.
All right, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Brock's in the match.
Yeah.
Brock ain't losing this match. He ain't losing any match. Brock wins this match.
Rock smash.
Basically. And even if Brock is not supposed to win, have fun. Trying to tell him, yeah, you're going to eliminate it by someone. Because he's like, no, I'm not.
No, he's not, Vince. No, he's not. Change the result. He's gonna fuck people up.
The only thing that could possibly take out Brock Lesnar is Sable dressed up in a 7-foot-tall Jimmy John mascot uniform. That's it. It has to be like outside because he'll dive up and over the ropes to try to tackle it.
Oh my god.
And then
Oh, it's a distraction.
and then mount it.
Okay.
Brock,
right.
no, they're children.
Brock does not care.
Wow, you gotta
Brock,
love
they're your children.
you gotta
Brock
love
definitely doesn't care. I mean, look at what he named his kids. Brock don't care.
you gotta love our show and our vivid imagery.
You don't
Wow.
want to imagine our vivid imagery. You don't want to know what goes on past these walls.
So clearly Justin believes Brock Lesnar's just gonna dominate everything and win the match.
Isn't that what he's done in every other match?
You know what's gonna be fascinating to me? Because we all know every Brock Lesnar match has like no plan whatsoever. It's just Brock doing whatever the hell he wants. I mean, that's pretty much what it is.
Yeah.
Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble has immense entertainment potential.
Oh God. Oh God.
In the Royal Rumble.
I mean, seriously, like that's not a reason enough to watch this thing. I don't know what if Brock Lesnar just throws.
It's like a freaking. It's like a train wreck in slow motion. That right there is worth the $9.99.
He's gonna be suplexing people out of the ring.
Oh dear Lord, Kofi run.
Remember that, Justin? I'm sure you did. You see the bots for Tyler Breeze on Monday night? Like, did you see any gifs of it or anything?
No, I have not.
Okay.
I have barely been online.
Mike knows what I'm talking about. He's seen it. basically,
I saw the gifs. Yes.
Titus O'Neil was supposed to throw Tyler Breeze over his head, and Mark Henry was going to catch him and like World's Strongest slam him. Well, he threw Tyler Breeze so hard he flew over Mark Henry and landed on the mat on the apron.
Oh.
So, I think of that when you're thinking about Brock Lesnar in the Royal Rumble.
It reminds me of like the old Royal Rumble game for the Sega.
Oh yeah.
Like, you could literally just powerbomb someone out of the ring, and then that's how you eliminate them.
That's what Brock's going to be doing.
You couldn't powerbomb them out. You could atomic drop them out.
Yeah. Okay. That came out in like what? 23 years ago.
19.
Okay,
It came out in 1993, 2, 3, 4. The Narcissist was still on the cover, so.
Oh.
Yeah, the Narcissist Lex Luger was on the cover. I owned that game. I played the shit out of that game.
I actually have it. Like I got an emulator in my backpack, and I have it. I don't remember any controls, so I suck.
Oh my god.
But
if I had a Genesis controller, I would beat the shit out of all of you at Royal Rumble for the Genesis.
no, it's a handheld. So you can actually, it's like a Game Gear, but with a lot better freaking
Yeah.
battery life.
True.
Well, that's you're looking at something very similar on Sunday. That's all I'm going to say. It's going to be it's going to be. I mean, I think when it comes down to, I think you're right. I think it's very hard to imagine how they would book Brock Lesnar losing that match.
You pretty much need the whole ring to just swarm onto him.
And
Even then, like half of them going out from when he erupts.
And there is this theory, because how they said they've been saying all along they're going to make Fastlane this important pay-per-view. A lot of people have been thinking it's high, and then you get like Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns at Fastlane to decide who goes into WrestleMania. So you get that match on the way to. But if you're going to get that match, then Brock Lesnar needs to win that match.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that really helps Roman at all. I mean, yeah, you probably have Triple H screw him out of winning, but still, I mean, the one thing I think, and I don't know if any of you read it, but a lot of the dirt sheets agree, including I think Dave Meltzer's even said it too. The one thing he's pretty much ruled out is Brock Lesnar facing Roman Reigns at all in the next couple months.
Because they want to keep Roman Reigns healthy.
Well, pretty much the only thing that they've heard from Roman Reigns is Triple H. That's it. That does not mean that, Roman Reigns will be on the card at Fastlane. Who would he face? I don't know. But, but that's pretty much what everything we've heard is basically Roman Reigns, Triple H. And whether that's the main event or not, because there's apparently there's a feeling that that's going to main event the show even without the title, because it's got the McMahons all over it. And it's supposed to be a big moment for the McMahons and Roman Reigns and everything. So they might end up main eventing that and having that be the main event no matter what the title match is, because of the fact that – and I have a feeling that's what The Rock's going to be doing if he's not wrestling. I bet you The Rock's going to be the referee or in that match. He's probably going to be in Roman's corner against the McMahons. And that's why it's the main event, if that's the case. Is that like the wrong assumption to make?
No, it's always a right assumption to figure out if Triple H and or a McMahon is in the match, it's probably going to be main event because it strokes their ego.
And I think the funny part about that is, wasn't that the rumor a couple years ago that they're going to have like some kind of the whole authority angle was supposed to build to something like that at WrestleMania with them in the main event? And maybe they put on the line of whoever was going against Triple H or whatever, the McMahons would lose power or something, or I think that was supposed to be one of the main events a couple years ago, and they scrapped it.
Yes, because the authority going to power always works.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because I think we talked about this a lot the last couple months. It's going to be interesting because this is the first time in the last couple years that we're going into this Rumble with no idea of who might win it. We know there's like 4 or 5 choices, but every year, the last maybe 4 or 5 years, we kind of had an idea who's going to win going in. One year was Del Rio, one year it was Sheamus, one year it was. We had an idea it might be Cena, Reigns, Batista. We kind of. We've kind of had an idea. Now we don't. Yeah, you can easily say Brock, but they made Bray Wyatt look like he could have a chance. Roman Reigns has a chance. If you want to believe what a lot of the smarks are saying, Triple H has a chance. They could swerve you and bring back somebody and have them win. Owens could win. Undertaker could win. There's a lot of choices here. And we don't have to worry about Cena being one of them. Which makes Justin a happy camper. All right. So we talked about the Royal Rumble match. Obviously,
I have to interrupt you for a second.
Go ahead.
I have to interrupt you for a second.
Go ahead.
The WWE Universe official Twitter account tweeted this question out. Does anyone have a more beautiful dropkick Ziggler? The very first response was yes. And then it was a gif of Kazuchika Okada. But what made this more impressive is that Biggie Langston replied to the tweet with the correct answer of Okada.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to point this out. WWE Universe just got owned by Biggie and then everybody else who practically answered that question. Because in the end, isn't it Okada?
Lovely. All right, so
I'm just waiting for Okada to answer the question.
Yeah. All right, so we talked about the Rumble. It's obviously the beginning of the road to WrestleMania. We talked a lot over the last couple months about potential WrestleMania matches, potential WrestleMania cards, because there's been so many injuries. So the questions, every time we did a wrestling show, I feel like that was always the thing that came up was, what do you think about this match? What do you think about this match? So obviously when we look at questions and comments, that's usually a lot, especially this time of year, of what you get. But there's also some other things that have come up and been in the news over the last week. So we want to try to focus on those things as well. One of the things that was one of the major topics in our mailbox this week was Tyler Breeze. So we'll start with that. Of course, he was a big subject of discussion after Raw because of the infamous botch. It's been said that WWE has given up on Tyler Breeze's push. And that's been a big thing. A lot of people have been wondering. Well, a lot of the dirt sheets have picked up a story, I guess that came from the Wrestling Observer newsletter, that Vince McMahon has given up on Tyler Breeze. Apparently Triple H wanted to protect him when he first came up and saw him as a top heel. Vince was not convinced. Well, everybody wanted to know why that was. Well, some other news sites or rumor sites are saying that one of the reasons for Tyler Breeze being depushed was this, and this is according to, I guess, PW Insider and a couple other sites. Tyler Breeze asked WWE for permission to leave a recent TV taping early. WWE officials were reportedly upset, and it now appears that Breeze has a ton of heat on him for this. The feeling is that Breeze was just called up from NXT and is already disrespecting the business. All right, so one of our fans asked us a question related. Again, PW Insider is one of the places that are mentioning this report. And the Wrestling Observer mentioned that Vince McMahon has given up on Breeze. So a couple of the more prominent dirt sheet WWE rumor sites. The question that we got from a fan is this. Given the fact that WWE has seemingly given up on Tyler Breeze, what do you think happens to him now? Does he get put back in NXT, rebranded, or has just got future endeavor written all over it?
Justin, go ahead. Well, you.
I'd like to think that they try, if Triple H is really that much behind him, send him back down to NXT, keep him there for a little while, make sure Dunn does not get his hands on him. Because here's the thing. Maybe he had to leave early because something happened, because he had something going on. Maybe there's a legitimate reason why he had to leave early, and that's probably not why, and it's probably not getting reported, because that's what these douchebags do.
Yeah, they take one part of it and just, yeah. You're very true. Yeah.
Yeah, I second
Um,
that. Well, the thing is, yeah, the question is why? And the other part of it is, which they actually did report, God bless them, um, he asked for permission. And apparently, whoever was in charge that night granted him permission, so it must have been important. And then word got back up to management. Something tells me the communication structure in WWE is total ass. He was granted. The reason was enough where he was granted. He could leave the tapings early.
right.
So I fail to see what the issue is here, unless it was just like I'm not doing anything. Can I just go? Because the WWE is big on like even if you're not at the tapings, you're there. You watch every match. You know, you kind of just so you can kind of learn. But if there was an important reason, then
Yeah.
this is a total shit story.
Yeah.
And if they're actually thinking about like burying Tyler Breeze, let's face it, he hasn't done anything since he beat Dolph Ziggler. So, what more can they not do with him?
Yeah, it's true. You know,
The best case scenario, he goes back to NXT.
I'm glad you pointed out what my initial reaction was because I think a lot of people, and I've read a lot of people talking about this story today, and a lot of people glossed over the terminology here. You're right, he was granted permission. It wasn't that he asked for it and then so-called WWE official was offended. He was granted permission by somebody to leave early. So when you keep that in mind, if they have such an issue with it, why they let him go? Why didn't they get on their soapbox right then and there and say, no, you can't go. It's a teamwork. You know, there's a rule. You can't go unless there's an emergency. The fact that he asked and he was granted permission tells me that there was a vital reason for him to do it. And the fact he was granted to do it, you can't come back after saying, okay, it's okay for you to go, and then say, oh, well, you know what, that was wrong. How the hell does that happen? Like you said, the communication structure is garbage. Because whatever the reason for why they granted him the permission should have been made explicit to everybody involved and said, you know what, it's okay. I said he could go. I felt like the reason was good enough. It's on me, you know. And if you want to go to Tyra and say, you know what, you shouldn't have been told to do that, fine, then do that. But don't act like this is the reason he has heat. We all know the real reason he got the push is because, number one, first of all, it was said right out of the gate that, I don't know if it was Triple H or somebody did not want his first feud to be with Dolph. I think Dolph Ziggler even said, I hope I don't feud with him when he first comes up because we're too similar. It would be the worst thing in the world to have us matched up right out of the gate. And lo and behold, look what happened. Nobody gave a crap about the feud. It went on for like 2 months. He got a couple wins out of it, and then what? Nothing. He got lost in the shuffle, and that was always the concern. That's why he was in NXT for so long, was that he was one of those guys labeled as, we're worried that, I think Triple H probably even said the same thing. He gets up to the main roster, we're worried he's going to get lost in the shuffle, and that's exactly what's happened. And I don't think it has anything to do with this at all. I just think this is I think you're right. Mike's right. It's a miscommunication issue. All right. Here's a follow-up on a interesting thing that I think we mentioned. Was it last week or I think it was earlier this week actually? Actually, no. I think I talked to Mike about this off the air. That's why I remember. We didn't even talk about this on the show. So, for those that do not know, let me set the stage here. WWE's Tough Enough winner Josh Bridell, I believe its name is pronounced, is getting massive heat right now. There was a little Twitter thing going on during Monday Night Raw on Monday night. Here's what happened. During the Social Outcast segment on Raw, Josh had posted, "Yep, I like it," on his Twitter page saying #SocialJobbers. the tweet was deleted since then. Kevin Owens, Stardust, and Bo Dempsey got in on the act, with Kevin Owens saying such things as, "Look at the veteran here with the big fancy insider terms." Bo Dempsey went on to say, "Kev, the kid has to get a reaction somehow. Might as well be by words because we know it'd never be in the ring." Kevin Owens said he blocked him. It felt great. There was a lot of back and forth here. Stardust got in on it, said, "I enjoy dressing in the hall, Dick, not blocked, banned." And then the last thing that he had said, and of course now he goes by the ring name Bronson Matthews, it was yikes. Curtis Axel, Heath Slater, they all made comments. You can look this up. It's all over online. Just type in Tough Enough winner being blasted by WWE roster guys, and you'll pretty much find it.
Josh the Yeti.
Yes.
The Yeti, that's what his name was.
Since this happened on Monday, night, just to give an update on it for those that do not know, since this happened on Monday night, and again, a lot of tweets have been, at least Josh's tweets have been deleted. There's an update on this according to some of the dirt sheet rumor sites, and that is the word going around WWE is that there is so much heat on him because a lot of workers on the main roster in NXT felt his shot at the social outcast was completely disrespectful. Slater and his stable are obviously on the lower end of the mid-card, but the feeling is that they've earned their spots on the roster and made sacrifices to be where they are, while Josh hasn't, as he got into WWE through Tough Enough with a $250,000 contract, so he doesn't have the right or the experience to disrespect the group. Now,
true.
That is the update. Now, one of our fans has asked us, "Do you see WWE? How do you see WWE handling this? Do you think they're going to give up on Josh at this point, given what's gone on, given the fact that a lot of guys in the main roster do not want to work with him, or do you think this is something that they'll handle in-house, try to get everybody on the same page, and try to just simply put him in his place?"
The kid's got a $250,000 contract riding on this, so at this point, he's not going to get cut because they've invested money into this guy too. Honestly, this kid is about to get the hardest lesson he ever could get and receive in the wrestling business. When you open your mouth and the boys take offense to what came out of it, you're going to deal with the shit. If he apologizes and handles the shit with humility, if he's humble about it, if he apologizes sincerely, makes up for it, he will eventually be allowed back into the locker room, into the good graces. The truth is, the kid got entitled. And he's going to pay for it. The thing with Slater and his group is, yes, they've all earned their spots. Yes, they're all talented. Yes, outside of Monday, which apparently was a Kevin Dunn book show, and you could tell because it was total shit. Usually if Raw's total shit, it's a Kevin Dunn show. So, unfortunately, and people sat through 2.5 hours, 3 hours of that crap. So, but the truth is, the kid doesn't have any choice but to grin and bear it, and he's going to grin and he's going to bear it because he has earned every bit of the hazing. I don't want to say hazing. He's earned every bit of the blowback that's coming his way. So, it's not hazing. It's going to be blowback. He's going to learn the hard way that wrestling traditions can be really, really hard. And the other thing with this guy is he wasn't ready to come up to the main roster anyway.
Right.
He's nowhere near main roster ready. So maybe by the time he becomes main roster ready, it'll kind of been smoothed over by then. So WWE's going to handle it in-house. But the kid wasn't even ready to show up on NXT television yet, so
Yeah.
What are they gonna do?
Justin, you have anything to add?
He gonna get his ass beat. Like, this is the type of stuff that you have guys down in NXT for. They're going to stiff the hell out of him in training. Like, this is a time when you want guys, who are a little bit more, hard asses. Like, okay, no, you're going to learn that this isn't okay, and
Right.
he's going to have to be doing a lot of freaking work to make up for this. And it's someone like this is where, and I know they're trying to get away from it, but and occasionally it's where something like Wrestler's Court would really come into effect.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. And I know some places have gone away from it. I guess in ROH got in trouble for it because they were doing that, and one of the higher ups from I think Sinclair is like, "Hey, what the hell is this? You should be focusing on getting ready for your matches, not doing this little charade thing here." And I think in the main roster it's kind of really frowned upon. NXT is a little bit more, it's a little different. So who knows? I don't know how to be run down there. But this is a prime example of wrestlers taking care of in-house. Of management going, you guys do it because you're going to take care of it a lot better than we can. Because when management has to get involved, it goes downhill very quick. That's why most wrestlers try to take care of it themselves. Okay, yeah, you have to buy beer for everyone, and you have to do this, and you're going to have to take a couple hard smacks to
Yeah.
or in the next match or whatever, and then that'll be it. So he's going to face some repercussions, but I don't think it's any official repercussions.
You know, the thing that's going to really hurt him is when he does get to NXT or gets to the main roster, he's going to have very few allies because they're going to remember this. So when he falls flat on his face and he looks for guidance, he's not going to have a lot of people helping him.
No.
He
Not
just
even
made
close.
he just made that early period of that transitional period where he's trying to get used to the to everything that's going on much harder on himself by doing that. Because at least that's going to make it difficult. Go ahead, Justin.
And I also want to point out, they have these NXT things. Has it the Tough Enough things? Has it really worked recently? The past couple of Tough Enoughs.
No.
I mean, they cut the last winner because he was messing up.
Well, I think in a lot of ways they were very unhappy with
yeah.
the way this whole thing went to begin. This whole process went to begin with this year. So, I mean, the whole thing felt like a disaster from the beginning. Like a lot of the people that they thought would be among those left over at the end were not even there. I mean, you heard week to week that they were upset with like certain people getting eliminated. So I don't think they were very happy with it at all, and that's why I think if they do go ahead with and do it again, that they're probably going to have a little bit of a different voting structure of some sort. That's just my feeling, but
It might be like, okay, audience gets this much percentage, and then you got the 3 judges which make up the other percentage.
or they can do the ultimate safeguard, which is a judge's save kind of thing. Pull out one of those things like American Idol did or something. But we'll see.
Didn't
but
they have a save? Didn't they have saves?
I got didn't they?
This round?
You know what? I think you're right. Didn't they each judge have one?
Yeah.
Or something like that. I don't know. I didn't really watch enough of it. I only watched bits and pieces, but
I can tell you nobody saved ZZ, so.
no, and that was the one that I think that they were hoping would have been out early and never happened. And yeah, he got signed. Who knows? All right. So obviously this would be a continuing story.
One thing. Speaking of ZZ, that brings it around. Recently they brought up the different structures for promo classes and how it's set up between like big guys, athletic guys, foreign people, characters.
Yeah.
The only person in the character class, ZZ.
Okay. Makes sense.
Well, Breeze would have been in that class too.
Right.
Yeah, because the
Breeze
thing
would
with
have
that,
had to have been in that class.
I think for that, like character-wise, it would be like Breeze. It would be Bray Wyatt, Wyatt family in general, I guess. But
Yeah. All right. So this will be an interesting thing. That no doubt will be. I don't think this will be a story that it keeps popping up. I'd imagine, especially as long as the guy's still employed with WWE. All right. Here's a question that revolves around an interesting story that came out today from former WWE writer Freddie Prinze Jr., who you all know is an actor as well. He apparently worked with WWE twice. He was a writer on the creative team, helping with promos and storylines for Jeff Hardy, The Undertaker, and Alberto Del Rio. Also worked with The Big Show and The Miz. And then the second time around, he worked more like working with people acting and everything else. Well, there was a big interview with him talking about how CM Punk was one talent that he thought should have been in a more high-profile position while he was there. Apparently, Punk's push came after he left. He mentions a lot of things: MVP, AJ Styles. Anyway, one of the interesting things that came from this interview with him was one of the reasons why Vince McMahon is very reluctant to put the WWE Championship on smaller performers, meaning short, not big bodybuilder types. And apparently the reason that he says is because of them being more injury prone. This is a quote from the interview. And I quote, this is Freddie Prinze Jr., "A lot of the times the writers come up with great stories and talent's on board, and they don't think it sucks, and they can contribute and it inspires more ideas. And then the knee gets blown, and then your story sucks. And that's just a cold, hard fact. And that's why Vince doesn't always like to give the title to a smaller guy, because he thinks they're going to get hurt more, and that damages the company. And that frustrates a lot of fans because some of their favorite guys are the smaller guys. But unless you're built a different way, you can't take that many hits. A lot of guys can't function injured, and I hate seeing the guys get hurt. I hated seeing Seth Rollins get hurt. I hated seeing Bryan get hurt," end quote. So the question from our fan here is this. Do you buy this reasoning as one of the biggest reasons for Vince not putting the title on so-called smaller performers? Or do you think this might be just a very PC or the covering reason for why he does this?
I think a little bit of both. Because, like, really, I don't know if they're more injury prone, because, yes, they do more stuff that tends to get them injured.
More risky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just as easy to blow out your rotator cuff or tear a muscle doing a suplex.
Yeah.
For a big guy. So, I mean, look how injured Mark Henry was.
Yeah.
Look at Big Show. I mean, being a big guy is really bad on your friggin' knees. Your back. I mean, Andre the Giant it's because he had a really freaking bad back. I mean, they pretty much had to create a new type of surgery for him, for his back, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's different. Justin's right. Different kind of injuries for, different guys. The smaller guys, especially if they run a high-risk style, there's a whole set of injuries that kind of come with that. The blown knees, the hot concussions, the concussions specifically from like outside dives. Maybe they're not caught, so they're more at risk for injury that way. And then they're more at risk for injury by going in and dealing with green monsters that WWE likes rushing up to the main roster.
True.
So they also have that set of injuries because let's face it, the little guys are always kind of in the match to make the big guy look strong. But and then Justin alluded to the fact that the big guys have their own set of injuries too. It just alludes to the fact that your body in professional wrestling, your body's got this thing called a bump card. And when your bump card is full, that's it.
Yeah.
It's time to kind of hang up the boots. Nobody has an infinite bump card. Like we saw Mick Foley, kind of a larger guy, went through incredibly dangerous things in wrestling. Dude could barely walk. Dude could barely get up. He can barely. There were times where where it hurts him to actually move and get up. Yeah, he had this incredible career, and he made his name off of just incredibly risky things. Now he's paying for it.
It's true.
Now he's paying for it. Edge had one of the greatest careers in modern time. Can't take another bump because he's at risk of paralysis.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's bump card is timeless. Once it gets filled up, that's it. And everybody, and regardless of your body weight, yes, you have your own set of injuries. Big guys, their knees get blown out more, essentially. Just by being degraded, they have to move around the ring. They have to run to keep the ring wind in, you know?
Sure.
They have to move. They have to be able to have stamina. Having all that weight, doesn't matter if you're muscle or not. Have muscular or not, that will ruin your knees. It'll ruin your back. Justin said, yeah, you can muscles get popped up doing suplex, body slam, even the most routine things in the ring can cause injury, severe injury. They say the worst bump you can take in the wrestling business, the worst bump you can take is a body slam. Unless you work in Japan, the worst bump you could take is a body slam. What's the one move Braun Strowman could do correctly?
Yeah.
Body slam. But Freddie Prinze isn't entirely wrong, though. Because it's not like big guys are more durable. Big guys take less risks. And especially back early on, he protected the big guys a little bit, Vince, when he could. Well, he protected Hogan when he could. So.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
know.
I think it really it's a case-by-case basis.
It really is. Daniel Bryan, Seth Rollins was a fluke thing.
Oh yeah, he just
Daniel Bryan was a repeated refusal to change his moveset when he was advised by every single doctor under the sun, there are certain moves you can't do anymore. Stop doing them. And he's like, nope, I can't. I got to keep doing it. And he's paying for it.
Yeah.
Once Daniel Bryan learns to change some of his moves, I think WWE might be more likely to clear him.
You know.
Well, when he's ready to be cleared, but they'd be more happy, less hesitant.
I think that, like I said, I think it's simple. It's not about big guys versus smaller guys. It's about the fact that each guy's case-by-case basis. Sometimes it's just the way you're built. Sometimes it's just the way your body's structured, what kind of moveset you have, that kind of thing. That's really all it comes down to. And too often it's like, well, you're a small guy, you're a big guy. No, it's simply about the fact, and how much you can take. Everybody's different. Everybody can take more. Some people can take more than others. It's I don't think it's just that guy's short and that guy's bigger. I don't think it's about that. Here's an easy one that I don't even have to really set up. Anybody that's seen pictures from the SmackDown taping on Tuesday night knows that the arena was at most half empty. And I guess this was in Dayton, Ohio, I believe. This has been a recurring theme for WWE over the last couple of years with how much their SmackDown attendance has dropped. Also, not just exclusive to SmackDown, but a lot of house show attendance has dropped. And recently, WWE canceled a live event in March in Albany, citing citing injury concern for its roster But my suspicion is the real reason is due to lack of attendance or lack of ticket sales. Do you think that the injury depleted roster is the biggest reason for what's going on with WWE's sometimes difficult trend to draw attendance, or do you think it's about the fact that nobody buys any of the current roster as draws?
I don't think it's the injury because that the lack of attendance at SmackDown has been going on
Mm.
for years,
Pretty much since what, maybe like 2012.
and I think the reason why is because they keep treating SmackDown like it's basically a glorified house show.
Mm.
You have to make SmackDown important. You just can't make it 3 matches and then Raw rewind the whole time.
Yeah.
Make it mean something. One of the best ways to get attendance up is to make it live.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can get USA to cover the cost to have it live, why not?
Exactly. Exactly.
Because people want to see, like, hey, something's going on. We're going to get something. Vince is here. You know, this. We're going to have all these big and important guys here. Right now, it's just more or less kind of like, oh, this match again. You're pretty much just getting a repeat of something you just saw on Raw. Oh, you had a tag team with the Wyatts and Dudleys. Let's do it again, but instead of the Dudleys losing, they win this time. Okay, that's cool. Let's do it every week.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the interesting thing was? In the past few years, every time they've done something meaningful like that, remember that one time Undertaker faced Dean Ambrose in the main event?
Mhm.
People tuned in.
But here's the thing for that one. That was also in the United Kingdom, where it's going to be sold out no matter what. Because how often does it go over there?
Right. But I think your point is very true, is this. There's a couple of things. One, you don't do it live, so we already know what's going to happen before it happens. Two, the roster's so thin that and number two, what I always been bothered by, first of all, it always looks so dated when you watch SmackDown. And that's probably because it's not live. But even when it's live, it always looks so, like, compared to Raw, it looks like it feels like it's through a different filter, a different lens.
Because it's the B show and everyone knows it.
Right. But you know my thing is?
They don't even get the good production trucks. They just kind of get the old ones out there.
Back when I first started watching, remember, here's the thing. SmackDown's usually, if you're in a pay-per-view week, it's the last show you have before a pay-per-view. Why on earth do we not treat it as such sometimes?
It's treated like a clip show.
Right. Why not have, some of the big things you do on Raw happen on SmackDown that week too? Like, instead of doing all the big stuff on the Go Home Raw, do it on the Go Home SmackDown.
But that would require them to actually think ahead. Here's the thing. I think another one of the biggest things hurting them is the fact that creative sucks.
I think they're burnt out. 3 hours, I think, is killing them. I think, here's the problem. You're asking them to write a 3-hour show, and then how many revisions do they have to go through with Vince that day? 1 million of them. I'd be burnt out too. I'd be like, Jesus, I've already rewrote this like 8 times. How many times do you want me to rewrite it?
And you know what the weird thing is? They canceled a show in Albany in March. It's a main roster show, right?
They said it was because they canceled a live event in March because, I think, injury concerns. But a lot of people think that it was more to do with ticket sales than it was injury concerns. Because WWE's never done something like that before. They haven't canceled because they fear their guys are going to get injured or something,
And the one thing I kind of find weird with that is NXT's going to be in Albany in February.
Right. Right.
And that's probably sold out already. Because when we went there last year, it sold pretty quick. And that's the developmental league. So I don't think it's the fact that there's a lack of people caring about WWE. I think it's more or less people just going, yeah, NXT's great. Because they all got all this stuff going on, and they have all these great people, and it's entertaining. oh great, we get to see the same match we've been seeing every week on Raw. We get to see Jack Swagger versus this guy. Jack Swagger versus Alberto Del Rio for the U.S.
Yeah,
title
right.
again. We get to see Dean Ambrose versus Tyler Breeze. We get it's like mix it up. Oh yeah, do something.
Well, I think what was one of the big trends last year during Raw. Remember, we went through a period where every week it was like Rollins, Kane, and J&J Security versus like Orton and Reigns, and like it was like the same main event variation of the same main event like every week, every Monday for like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what was the big thing that we were hearing? That people were leaving the arenas, people in the live crowd were leaving the arenas before the main event. Here's the problem. It's not that these guys can't be. Some of these guys they haven't built into being draws because the 50-50 booking is killing them from that standpoint. Here's the other problem. Everything is predictable. We've known for the last 2 years that everything they've been doing is about Roman Reigns. We all know if Roman Reigns is in the main event, we all know what's going to happen. If Roman Reigns is in a match, we all know what's going to happen. If Brock Lesnar is in a match, we all know what's going to happen. There's predictability. There's too much predictability in the roster now. You haven't built up enough guys to make it so that when they go after guys, there's unpredictability. Like, oh, this guy might actually beat this guy. You've given the John Cena, that's predictable John Cena feeling that you get to every John Cena match to almost everything on the show. So when you tune in, you're like, oh, I already know what's going to happen, so why bother?
I mean, I've missed 3 of the past 4 Raws, and I really haven't missed a thing.
No, you haven't.
No, and I mean, it's and you know what? Whenever something different does happen, it sticks out like, oh my God. Like, holy crap. Like look, you see Bray Wyatt put down Brock Lesnar in the middle of the ring on Monday, and you're like, what? I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's everything is just so incredibly predictable. Very few moments in the last 2 years have not been predictable. That's why WrestleMania 31 is looked at as so amazing because nobody saw Seth Rollins coming down in the middle of the main event. It broke up the predictability. So it was cool. But they don't do enough of those kind of moments anymore because they don't build up enough guys, and it's predictable. Mm-hmm. It is what it is. All right, a couple of quick... Oh, go ahead, Justin. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Couple of quick hitters here. Quick ones because we're running out of time here. Quick ones. So, what do you guys think the chances of AJ Styles debuting in the Rumble is?
50-50.
Justin?
I say 60% not appearing.
60-40. 60-40 in favor of him debuting in the Rumble. All right. Let's see. Daniel Bryan got cleared by another doctor. Chances of Daniel Bryan at least appearing in the Royal Rumble or at least showing up before WrestleMania.
Showing up before WrestleMania? In a wrestling capacity, less than 50%. In just a capacity, greater than 75%. Him appearing in the Royal Rumble, less than 30%. Why? If he's in the Rumble, everyone's going to want him to win.
Yeah.
And he's not going to win, and everyone's going to get mad. And you're going to have something like you did last year. Do you want to go through that again? Oh, guess what? You're already starting to do it again by making the freaking Roman Reigns show.
Yeah. Yeah.
I kind of agree. Only this year, if you have Roman in the if you have Bryan in the Rumble, it's not going to be that much of a shock if he doesn't win. That being said, Daniel Bryan appearing at on the road to WrestleMania or at WrestleMania in a non-wrestling capacity is going to be 90% in my eyes. In a wrestling capacity, 40 to 45%. That's just if WWE gets really desperate. In appearing in a wrestling capacity at the Royal Rumble, 5% at best.
I don't think you're going to see him in the Rumble. I don't think you're going to see him before WrestleMania at all. I don't think you're going to see him at Mania. I think if the earliest he comes back is the night after WrestleMania. That's why I honestly believe that. Because I think first of all, even if he gets cleared, they're going to be too afraid to have him anywhere near Mania because of all in Roman Reigns. They're going to be too afraid of that. Even if Roman Reigns not in the title match, they'll be too afraid of that. They don't want to make They don't want to make all WrestleMania about Daniel Bryan. That's their fear. It's been said that Minneapolis is now out of the running for WrestleMania 33, and Orlando is the front runner and will probably be announced as the host of WrestleMania at the Royal Rumble on Sunday, which is where the Royal Rumble is being housed, Orlando. Your feelings on WrestleMania, Orlando, Florida, for WrestleMania 33?
Is there a law somewhere saying that Orlando has to have WrestleMania once every 4 years?
Well, it was Miami that had it the last time, but
It's like just Florida gets it most times, and I get it. They want it outdoor and where's good weather.
yeah.
Florida.
It's like the Super Bowl. It only goes to certain places.
But you have domes. Like you can control the weather in a dome.
It's become like the Super Bowl. They all bid on it now. Like it's a big thing. So
You know, it would be a great place. Rogers Center, Toronto.
yeah.
Because it's close to us.
Hey,
That's basically my second home.
I'm kind of excited about the Orlando thing. I'm thinking about going to it if it happens. That's kind of exciting, Mike. I know you're feeling it.
Okay. Here's the thing. I have been to one WrestleMania.
Right.
I have.
I hate you. I
It
want
was
to go. I hate
WrestleMania.
you.
It was WrestleMania 18, and it was in Toronto, and it was a wonderful experience. I really would like to see another WrestleMania in my lifetime. I agree with Justin. Toronto is the best bet. On the other hand, it's fucking Orlando, man. It's not like wrestling. It's not like wrestling and fan access is the only thing we do in Orlando. Let's just call that one how it is.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I
like,
mean-
go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's okay. I was done.
With Toronto, it's such a great location because it's right towards the water, and also you have the Rogers Center right there, right next to the Space Needle, or not the Space Needle, the tower. I should know I go to Canada enough. Whatever the tower is, the pointy thing.
CN Tower.
Yes, thank you.
CN Tower.
I'm an honorary Canadian. I'm engaged to a Canadian. I can't remember that freaking name. I'm sorry.
This is sad for
I'm
Justin.
sorry, I'm sorry, my Canadian beaver overlord.
Justin
But not-
Trudeau.
No,
Justin Trudeau.
no,
Or Tim Horton.
yeah, I was going for more with that one.
Or Tim Horton.
But crap, where are we going? Oh,
Yeah.
Now, so you have the Rogers Center right there. You have literally 100 feet away from it a freaking huge convention center. I know. I go there every year. It is basically two buildings connected with a skywalk over the train tracks to Union Station.
Yeah.
And it's also another thing. You have transportation right there. You have Union Station right there to bring people in, so they don't even have to worry about parking. Because guess what? You can't find a spot to park in Toronto. Screw that crap. You park at a GO station, you bus in or you train in. But yeah, you have transportation right there, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You don't have to worry about traffic. You have a huge, two huge convention centers. The north side is a big open area where they can have a wrestling ring, and they can have access, and they can have an NXT show. They can have all that stuff there. Toronto, Vince, just give it a try. And how, like, our own problem with that is, how's the Canadian dollar going to be? I think that might be the thing holding them back. Because right now, this quarter in my hand is almost worth almost it's worth almost $1 Canadian.
That's hilarious.
It's literally it has sunk. The Dow has sunk to like 60 something cents.
Hmm.
Okay, we can check that out. But Orlando,
Yeah.
Disney World, Universal Studios, big booty bikini babes.
You know,
I don't see how there's a downside here.
you know what they're thinking of. You know what? If they're having an
And
Orlando,
they don't have to travel far for an NXT show too.
you know what they're probably going to do, right? If it's in Orlando, that's probably what they're going to use to announce the big WWE thing at Universal or something like that.
Yeah.
It's going to be like a big.
Then the long-standing rumor where WWE is going to have, in case nobody knows, if this is a surprise for everybody, the long-standing rumor is that WWE is going to be opening up a restaurant and a physical Hall of Fame on Universal City Walk. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is inside information. No, this has been a long-standing rumor for about 5 to 10 years now.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's out there. You just have to look.
It's there.
They're getting rid of shit down there, so
I
might as
think
well.
that's probably something you're going to see announced when, along the way with this. But yeah, I don't mind it, but I do agree with you that Toronto would be a nice host city, but for some reason they haven't even come up in the last 4 years. They were one of the choices for 29, I know that, and then they just kind of never were mentioned again. We already addressed this, so I'm not going to really but I will say this. Is one question here. Roman Reigns, do you think Roman Reigns is the reason they're not bringing Daniel Bryan back? No, the health is the reason why they're not bringing Daniel Bryan back. Although Roman Reigns, look, if he got cleared, like let's say Daniel Bryan got cleared today, I think they'd hold him back because of Roman Reigns at this point. But I don't think that's the reason they've been doing it all along.
No, the road to WrestleMania, they would bump Roman for Daniel Bryan.
I wish I would
If
feel
Daniel
that.
Bryan was able to get cleared today. No. The road to WrestleMania, Daniel Bryan would be the big face, and Roman Reigns would just be the guy against Triple H. Because let's face it, who are they going to cheer anyway?
Yeah. All right.
Let's just not fight the moonlight here.
Last question to end the night. Let's see. Sting has been announced as the what looks to be the centerpiece of the WWE Hall of Fame inductions this year. Who of anyone do you see going into the WWE Hall of Fame this year, in addition to Sting?
There's a big story. Justin said Freebirds.
Yeah.
The big story is partially the list got leaked.
Yeah.
Earlier.
It got leaked. There was a video on it. WhatCultureWrestling.com had it. Yeah, Freebirds are on the list. And it's out there if you want to look. And I don't think we're spoiling anything. The Freebirds were on the list. JBL is on the list. Jacqueline's on the list, and Charles Wright's on the list.
And guess where they're all from?
Excuse me.
Bless you.
What?
And
Thank you.
most of them are from the Dallas or Texas in general.
Which is what they like to do, anyway.
And, well, one of those guys is making his living in Las Vegas. Also, he's a friend of The Undertaker. So.
Charles Wright, better known as the Godfather, is basically living the gimmick now.
And Regis Philbin is rumored to be the celebrity induction. So.
Yes, because who cares?
I think they've just run out of celebrities.
Not entirely. They could throw Freddie Prinze Jr. in there.
I mean, Freddie did what? Guest GM once or twice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somehow, I think 10 years in the future they'll be putting Stephen Amell in there.
Yeah.
Mike wants that to happen 10 days in the future.
Well, there's rumors that he's facing Stardust or Mania again. So.
I'm okay with that because look, Stephen Amell he went. He could go. So I'm okay with a Stardust Amell 8-minute match.
Okay, they've given us They've given us worse celebrity matches. So.
Oh, that's another person having a Hall of Fame. Snooki.
You know, we could all laugh about that, but she wasn't dreadful.
Which is
No,
like,
she was actually
yeah.
she was pretty good. She was better than Kevin Federline.
She surprised the hell out of everybody. Like that was a big
She was better.
surprise.
She was better than Jenna Morsica. That was a TNA match, though.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing with that. She's a big surprise because we set the bar so low that like it is basically like she set the bar so low. Larry Flint could go over it.
Oh wow. You know, one of the people they're gonna put in eventually is Maria Menounos.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Ronda
Vince
Rousey.
loves her. Vince loves her. So she's gonna be one of them. Yeah. Well, all right. I mean, I guess you can check it out. There is a list leaking that has supposedly leaked. But yeah, I mean, none of those names would surprise. I had heard the Freebird rumor had been going around for a while, so that really wasn't that surprising.
It's been going on so long that Michael Hayes has just kind of resigned to the fact he's never getting in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if the Freebirds are the next group in.
I'm really shocked I didn't think of JBL, but it makes sense.
Oh, one more thing before we forget. There's you guys remember Mike? I know you remember Sonny, correct?
Oh, I know what you're gonna say.
Recently she put up her Hall of Fame ring online. She says to get away from the past. Everyone's going, no, because you got arrested and need to pay court fines.
Mm-hmm.
She recently has taken the ring back off the market. Why? Because she signed with Vivid, the adult film company.
Yep.
Oh, that's official?
For
You did that?
for greater than $100,000.
I heard, I read a story that they were in negotiations where the owner of Vivid would give her $100,000 if she would do a couple of sex tapes and give him her Hall of Fame ring.
Yes. And apparently has already shot the video.
Damn. Well, they work quick, don't they?
It's porn, Brian. It's porn, Brian. You kind of get her dolled up a little bit. You send the dude with the cock out there.
All right, okay.
And
all
you
right.
just
Wait, Brian, do you want to know what the name of the film is?
No, I don't. We gotta have something.
I do.
We have to have something.
Mike said yes. The name of the film.
I do.
Name
Yes.
of the film.
No.
No, it's clean. It's clean.
Okay, go ahead.
Sunny side up, in through the back door. Just. And now you have to imagine, Mike. we broke him. We broke him. This is someone that we watched when we were in when we were young, and we thought that she was the hottest woman around, and this is what she's resorted herself to.
Oh my God.
Let's be honest here. A significant portion of the people who are probably gonna buy this movie or watch it online illegally.
It's part nostalgia, part like it's almost like watching the China videos because you don't want to watch it and it's really not that good. But
oh God. Okay.
I've had a couple beers, so why the hell not? Like that's basically what this is going to be.
This is incredibly nuts. Oh my God.
Have you seen the China one when she dressed as She-Hulk?
Have I seen it? No. Have I seen pictures of it? Yes. It's apparently one of a kind.
You can't make this stuff up, guys.
No.
Make this stuff up.
I'm gonna look up that Sunny news now because I'm actually interested.
Someone's gotta be.
By the way, have you all heard that Austin Aries is apparently close to signing with WWE?
I mean, where else is it gonna go? TNA?
This was as of yesterday. Apparently, he's close to signing, and he might be somebody that appears in the Rumble.
That'd be interesting.
So keep that in mind too for Sunday.
Oh, and more important news, with AJ Styles out, that makes Kenny Omega the #1 new gaijin in New Japan.
Well,
Yes. Yes.
all right. We got to wind down. All right, so we even got a little bit of crude content in there at the end. Thank you, Justin.
You're welcome.
Oh God, yeah, it's classing up the show as always.
He's doing butt stuff.
Oh God. Well, I did say. Well, we did talk about debuting earlier.
She made her debut there.
It's true. It's true.
You asked me to be on this show. You asked me in my sleep-deprived state to be on this show. This is your fault.
We were getting asked questions for months. Like, people thought you were just afraid to be on camera. I was like, no. It's just that it always seemed to conflict with something. And in the wintertime, he barely appears on the show anyway. So it's kind of like a thing.
Like, let me explain this to you folks. I don't have a problem appearing on camera. My face is semi-decent. You shut your whore mouth.
Brian, you do need to shut up, eyebrows. I'm just saying.
Yeah, okay.
It's my voice I don't like. So if I got over the fact that I had to talk on the phone, for the old format, I got over that. So now this is no problem. I'm still going to sound the same. I still sound like a lower-pitched Homestar Runner. That's never going to change. Now you get to see my pretty face.
All right.
You want to talk about voices? My voice is the one that's like, ugh. But anyway, all right, let's wind down. As always, the show might be over. It's not mean you have to stop interacting and contributing to the show. Feedback, questions about the show, scheduling the show, breaking news items, topic ideas related to sports, entertainment, wrestling you want us to cover, reactions or comments, things we said on the show, topics we discuss, any of those things. In the Spotlight, Film Awards submissions, American Idol performance ranking submission, all those things you can do via email, Facebook control. Though keep in mind, any Film Awards submissions need to be done by email only. Email address for the show is, oh my God, wow, itspotlight401@gmail.com. You can follow us and tweet us at itspotlight401. Remember, you got couple hashtags you can use when you're tweeting us or tweeting about us. Hashtag ITSpotlight401, hashtag ITS5, representing our 5th anniversary on the air as a podcast, or if you're tweeting about our wrestling, so you can use hashtag ITS Wrestling, and tweeting about our football show, hashtag ITS Football Blitz. Use any of those if you can. Helps us out a little bit if you do that. It helps us be able to find the tweets easier. You can also find us on Facebook. To search for In the Spotlight 401 on Facebook, and make sure you like our fan page upon finding it. We encourage you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for the latest information about the show. That's the best way to get information as far as scheduling goes, especially on Fridays when we do the football show. Sometimes that gets moved a lot. You have a couple ways you can keep up with the show and catch up. If you're interested, if you like the streaming format, and you're only interested in shows since we debuted here on Google Hangouts and on YouTube, just search for In the Spotlight 401, either on Google Hangouts or on YouTube. You'll have access to all of our episodes since we debuted here on Google Hangouts and on YouTube, on our channels on both sites. So if you're interested in checking any of those, our more recent episodes out since we debuted here on Google Hangouts on YouTube, make sure you search for In the Spotlight 401 on both sites. If you're somebody that's more a fan of the audio format of podcasting, we do have our new host site up on Podbean, along with iTunes is back up and running, although there's still a couple technical issues going on. Some things are still transferring over. Mostly everything should be set up on there. There might be a few glitches, but it's being worked out as we speak. So what you want to do is go to Podbean or iTunes and search for In the Spotlight 411 on both sites. And you'll have access to all of our episodes from the last couple months, all of our Google Hangouts YouTube episodes, but also if you're maybe a longtime fan that wants to check out old episodes of our show from back on our Blog Talk Radio days, Talk Shoe days, Lives In days, or if you'd like to, if you're a new fan and you want to learn a little bit more about what we're about, what we've been doing over the years, you can check out older episodes of our show from back when we were known as In the Spotlight with Brian Gardner. All those episodes have been uploaded onto Podbean. They're all in one spot now, along with our new, more recent episodes. And you can also, as always, find those episodes on iTunes as well. So just search for In the Spotlight with Brian Gardner on iTunes, or In the Spotlight 411 on iTunes, and In the Spotlight 411 on Podbean, and you'll have access to new episodes and old episodes. Old episodes, of course, In the Spotlight Brian Gardner, new episodes In the Spotlight 411. So keep all that in mind if you're looking to catch up on a show or look back at old episodes of the show. All right. A couple of things again. Tomorrow is our next show, In the Spotlight Football Blitz at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. If anything changes, as I always do, I'll let you know via Facebook or Twitter. We'll be looking back at divisional playoff weekend last weekend, looking ahead to NFL championship playoff weekend this weekend, making predictions to who goes to the Super Bowl. That's what we'll be doing tomorrow. And then next week, of course, we'll have a pretty normal week. Sports show on Tuesday, entertainment show on Thursday. We'll do a little wrestling, Royal Rumble Fallout on Tuesday as well. And next Friday, of course, the Football Blitz. And that will be our last Football Blitz for the season. Any other coverage of the football, Super Bowl, we'll be doing here on our main show. So keep that in mind. A couple other things too. Again, midnight Eastern Time tonight is the deadline for the American Idol all-time performance rankings feature early submissions. Again, you can do that by email, Facebook, or Twitter. Just send one performance, send hundreds of performances, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Either email, Facebook, or tweet us those performance choices that you want, that you feel should be on that list. So again, midnight Eastern Time, the deadline for that. And if you'd like to participate in the 6th annual In the Spotlight Film Awards, you must begin now, and you can begin now by taking the first step and sending a ballot request. You can only do that by email at itspotlight411@gmail.com. Make sure you email me, say that you'd like a ballot request. You don't even, like I said, you don't even have to put anything in the email to say, put ballot request in the subject line. I don't know what you're talking about. And then I will send you a ballot probably within the next 24 hours. Again, please do not try to get involved in this process halfway through. At some point after tonight, you have to get involved now. If you ever want to be involved, it has to be from the beginning to the end. It just makes it a lot easier. So those of you who've already received thousands of ballot requests and thousands of ballots have been sent out, if you'd like to participate in the 6th Annual Film Awards, ballot request deadline is midnight Eastern Time tonight. I will not accept any more after that. So keep all that in mind for tonight. I want to thank Justin for finally making his first appearance here on Hangouts and on YouTube. Thank you, Justin.
And thank you for letting me talk in my sleep-deprived state this long. And
Oh, you would have been up anyway. Relax.
I've been going to bed at like 7 o'clock.
Oh, wow. Well,
So-
that makes sense because that makes sense given the weather. All right, I want to thank Mike for being here tonight. Thank you, Mike, as always.
No, I am actually going to go to sleep, so.
Thank myself for another great show. Pat myself on the back. This time I'm doing it with my pen. I don't know why I'm doing that, but I am. And thank all of you for your continued support and contributions to the show. Thank you so much for watching. And to those that will be watching this later in archive or listening to it on Podbean or iTunes, thank you so much for that as well. We do appreciate that. That's it for tonight. Again, In the Spotlight Football Blitz tomorrow at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time. Make sure you tune in for that, either live or check out the episode in archive. Until then, I hope you have a great rest of your night and a great Friday. See you back here on Google Hangouts and on YouTube at 2:00 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, live for the In the Spotlight Football Blitz. Until then, have a good night, everyone. Uh-oh.